There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Welcome to episode 75 of SYFY Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean Fangirl S, and tonight we'll be discussing episodes 1 through 5 of season 3 of 12 Monkeys. So, this was kind of crazy the way they did this. Now, we had talked about this in previous episodes, that they were going to do the whole season over a weekend.
Yes.
Which I felt was really strange, but, I mean, they have so many shows coming back, I can totally see why. And I know Steve and I were not able to watch it all at the same time because of our job. And I don't know. Like, do you think this was good or not so great for them? What do you think?
Well, I love the way it was put together. It felt like you had three different, you watched a trilogy of movies over a weekend. So that was awesome. But I'm not 100% sure it was the success that they were hoping it was going to be.
I don't know if it was because of the weekend. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They did 4, 3, and 3. And it just seems like a lot. Now, I know a lot of people will binge watch shows when they drop on Netflix and Amazon and everything. I'm not one of those people. I can't just sit there and binge watch. Obviously, that's why it's taken me so long to get this show watched. But I did love the show. So, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Let's drop it all at one time kind of thing. But I guess we'll see because you have some of the ratings.
Oh, yeah.
But Live Plus 7 Day hasn't come out yet, right?
Right, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, well, we'll get to the ratings in a minute because Steve has found news for us. And it's something that we touched on previously, and we were wondering how this was going to play out.
That's right. The hit horror franchise The Purge is coming to the small screen in the form of a new series at Sci-Fi in USA. And now we know a little more about what it will focus on. Turns out, not actually The Purge. At least not exactly. Deadline reports the Purge series will serve as an entirely new chapter in America's 12 hours of annual lawlessness by revealing to the fans what happens the other 364 days of the year and how the law affects people. So basically, it's set in the world of the Purge and focuses on how this night of lawlessness came to be and the effect it has on society. It's an interesting direction to take, and if they pull it off, could fill in some of the biggest gaps in the franchise. Like, how the heck this actually works in a society and how it almost certainly screws people up. But don't worry, it'll still be true to what Purge fans have come to know and love. The show is being written, directed, and executive produced by the film franchise creator, James DeMonaco. The series will also run as a lead up to the new Purge film in 2018 because, synergy.
This is good, though, because this is the question that I think everybody had after the first one.
Right.
And the third one. Because the third one at least gave you a little more flashbacks, where the middle one didn't do that so much. But, we found out why in the third one the congressman, became so anti-purge. We learned that. So, I mean, you see little bits, but I wanted to know how the heck this even came to fruition. What was behind the whole thing. So
right.
That's cool that we're going to learn a little bit. I don't know how much backstory we're going to get other than just this is what happens all these other days. How perfect is this society? So it should be interesting how they play this out.
Yes.
Oh, fingers crossed. And interesting, like you had said before, it's going to be on two different, even though they're sister networks, they're 2 different networks. So we don't know if they're running simultaneously or what it was, because they were going to drop it pretty much the same way as 12 Monkeys, weren't they? Or we weren't sure at that time.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Okay. So I guess we hang on and hope for the best and see what happens. It should be pretty cool, though, and especially if they're going to somehow tie it into the movie that's going to drop. So
Right.
usually when they do that, it's really good and will like tie a lot of things up, even though it'll leave questions, because what good franchise doesn't leave you with some question?
Yes.
Come on.
Example of this one.
Right. All right. And Steve also got the ratings news. Like I said, it wasn't the Live Plus 7 yet.
Right.
But
This is the same day. So episode 1 had a 0.16 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.585 million viewers. And it was rated the 67th overall cable show for the day. Episode 2 dropped to 0.12 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.399 million viewers, which was the 90th rated cable show. Episode 3, 0.11 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.374 million viewers, which brought it in at 94th. Episode 4, which was the finale of the first night, 0.09 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.324 million viewers and came in at 104th. And then starting off the second night was episode 5, and it brought in a 0.1 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.397 million viewers, which was rated 107th for that day.
so you did really see the numbers like fluctuating a lot.
Right.
And I think the big thing, like you said, if they weren't there to start it, because there were like barely any commercials, which was good.
Yeah, and the first night they had like maybe 3 or 4 30-second commercials.
Yeah, they were really short. It was the same thing when I was watching anything on demand.
Right. And I know I saw some people complaining about that. They couldn't get up and go to the bathroom even.
But yeah, you see the numbers kind of drop off because if you're coming home from work on Friday or from dinner, whatever, if you're not able to catch it, it's not like it's going to repeat like in an hour or two.
Right.
Like usual. So I think that maybe what hurt us for the live day, but
Yes.
I'm sure the plus 7 is going to be a whole different story.
Yes, I expect it will be.
Okay. Well, we're going to go over the 5 episodes, and we'll do this semi-quickly as not to bore everybody.
Yes.
Because it was a lot. Season 3, episode 1 was entitled Mother. In the apocalypse of 2163, a desperate Cole searches for Titan. Meanwhile, a captive Riley is faced with an impossible choice as the 12 monkeys await the arrival of the witness. Okay, so much was just like weaving through each storyline. It was honestly, now that I've watched all 10, I don't know why I was about to say 12. It's 12 monkeys. It's kind of confusing, and when you look back, it's still one of those things that I'm like, did that happen? I wasn't quite sure if I'm like projecting what I wanted to happen. One of those things happened to be with Cassie. She had, and it's funny, I'm going to say this, a handmaid. And I'm looking at this girl like, who is that? Wait a second. I know her. And I couldn't put my finger on it at first.
Oh, no.
And I want to say it took basically to the end of the episode for me to realize that this was Dominique Provost-Shockley, who is in Winona Earp.
Right.
I just kept doing it because it's so weird when you see somebody from these other shows that you're like really into in a different character, just sounding a little different. Because she didn't really look different. I mean, obviously, like the robes, but I'm staring at her going, wait a second, who is that? I know that face. And I didn't want to stop and like look it up. So yeah, it was basically almost to the end before it dawned on me who she was. I'm like, I'm an idiot. Especially since we do Winona Earp.
Yes.
Oh, I know we love when all of our sci-fi people cross over.
Yes.
We got a couple of them this season with 12 Monkeys.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And we're going to have more in upcoming shows.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see Art in Winona Earp coming up.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
All right. So Cassie, where shall we start with Cassie?
Well, of course, she tries to escape with the help of Ariana, her handmaiden, but that doesn't quite work out too well. No,
not for Ariana, at least.
Right.
Because we have weird stuff happening, and we're learning this more and more. And this episode so did it, because she tried to escape, and all of a sudden, Ariana doesn't make it. But I felt so bad because, she's like, here, take this. This is from my mother. I don't remember my mother. She's giving her like this little piece of cloth or something. I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
And she's like, everybody needs to remember their mother. And I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. And I'm like, that's really sad. Crap, something's going to happen. I mean, right? There's just that whole thing of doom. Because Cassie is stuck in Titan. And we seen that last season, I should say. And what do they want with her? Well, apparently she's an incubator, is the best way to put it. Because we find out she's carrying the witness. And they're like treating her really nice to a point.
Right. She can't do what she wants, but at least she is being fed and being kept in a rather reasonable room, shall we say.
Right. She wasn't in like a prison cell.
Right.
And Cassie, even assumably with a little help, she's going to look down on the army of the 12 monkeys, all these people who are believers. And they don't see her until she lets herself be seen. And she's like, basically, screw you, I'm going to kill myself, in which case it will kill the witness, and you'll all be screwed, and you're here for nothing. And she jumped. And I was like, what the hell's happening? Seriously, I was like, what? And, well, this weird, creepy woman, who is, what's her name?
Magdalena.
She had the creep factor down. Like,
oh, extremely. Extremely.
And resting bitch face.
Yes.
Like, oh man, that was spot on. I really hope that woman does not look like that.
You didn't recognize her either.
Oh my god!
Yes, she played Cersei Lannister's prosecutor in the last couple of seasons of the Game of Thrones.
Shame. Oh, holy crap. I did not. Not until I read what you put. Holy crap. Yeah. Amazing. You know what? Lipstick makes a difference. I'm just saying. Apparently I need to start wearing lipstick. Maybe I'll look like a whole different person. But, like, she has this weird vest on. And all of a sudden she, like, turns the button and grabs Cassie and pops back in, like, and everything's fine. And suddenly time has turned back. Now.
Right. Yeah. She turned back time to where we actually open the scene and see her trying to be fed. And this time, instead of coming in and being at least semi-human to her, she comes in and she kills Ariana immediately and says, well, you're not going to get any of this good stuff anymore.
That was it. Yeah, that freaked me out. Just walks in. I'm like, what just happened? Now, I wasn't 100% sure. Did Cassie remember everything that happened?
Yes.
Okay. See, I wasn't
And she was just as surprised, realizing she was back where she was. It's like, how did I was falling and all of a sudden I'm back here? What the frick happened?
Okay. That's why I wasn't 100% since she wasn't wearing the vest, but at the same time, she's had whatever happened. So when she travels through time, she'll remember any changes. So I just wanted to confirm that's what had happened. And then we also had a gentleman by the name of Malik.
Yes.
Who apparently has been in another sci-fi show by the name of Warehouse 13. Maybe you know it. And an awesome Eddie McClintock was in it. I want Eddie to just pop up in like next season of 12 Monkeys. I just need like all of our sci-fi people to pop up randomly. And he seems like he's maybe on our side, but not really. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it was hard to tell where he was coming from because he did kind of try to be a little more humane to Cassie. And as the series goes along, he appears to be more helpful at getting people out of Titan, but
I trust no one.
Exactly.
And of course we have Cole, who is not about to give up on finding Cassie. And you see him get more and more almost manic about it.
Yes.
Like he's taking these, I don't know, polls, I don't even know what they were, to try to detect like the jumps. And he's just like,
well, he was actually trying to tie into Titan's temporal signature.
Okay.
And they had been covering quite a bit of the world. And of course, he did get a blip on one near Syracuse. And of course, Jones is really getting on him about this isn't the mission. We're supposed to be going after the witness. Cassie isn't the mission. You're acting like a rabid dog.
And we find out he's been drinking red tea at night.
Right.
That's
and you go,
not good for his brain.
No. Not at all.
So I felt like that was like a really good setup with everything. And then suddenly, we kind of go backwards. And I have to say, this, in my opinion, was the best scene ever. Yes.
It was pretty good.
It was all of those punctuations and pauses for a reason. Because Jennifer, we know, got popped back in World War I, and she's in a trench, and all of a sudden the Germans are taking over the trench. And what's happening? And they're like walking around killing everybody. And so she kind of starts freaking out, and next thing you know, she's singing 99 Cent Luftballons. And as she's singing, like, everything changes in the trench. I shouldn't be laughing because it's horrible.
No, but it was hilarious.
Like, all of a sudden, the Germans are not shooting people, they're shooting, like, balloons. And, like,
full of graffiti.
Yeah.
It's just one big party.
Confetti popping. And she's just dancing, and they're like, they come up to her as she's singing this, and they're like, she's crazy. I kind of like her. Maybe she'll live. It was insane. And I'm sorry, but I thought that was just the funniest, most random thing. And I'm like, well, I shouldn't be laughing this hard. But it was really funny.
Oh, it was awesome. And Emily just knocked it out of the park.
I want to know if she was really singing. Because it kind of sounded like her. But, you're never 100% sure.
You never know. Yeah, you
Right.
never know.
And then suddenly, though, she has a vision of the Four Horsemen. And she realizes this is the beginning. This is the beginning of it all.
Right. She's at the beginning.
But that is not all that we learned.
Oh, no. Because as Cole prepares to make another trip, Jones demands that Hannah go with him, even though Hannah did not want to have any part of it because she was enjoying her daughter's fight club too much. But she goes, and of course, Cole gets back to the one that had originally signified that it may have found Titan and then never made another noise. And, oh, we came all the way out here for a dead battery. But he bangs on it as always the best fix is banging the hell out of it. And
isn't that how you get everything that the battery may not be working? You like shake it. That's me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, there.
Works every time. And of course, it comes back to life, and Cole has found his way to Titan. Of course, Hannah was not having any part of it. We need to go back and get troops and get prepared. The two of us will get killed. Cole doesn't care. And of course, she's got the syringe so they can drag him back if they have to. Scuffle ensues, and of course, Cole is able to get the
that was pretty slick, though, because
syringe and stick her with it.
Yeah, because she didn't even realize it.
No. He goes, say hi to your mother for me.
Poof, she's gone. She was pissed.
Oh, yes, extremely.
But it was good because it set up that there's more to come. And, well, as Cole is running to Titan, as we knew he would, to try to get Cassie, he starts fighting somebody who's all covered up, and he's got one of the weird vests that we seen earlier.
Right.
It's like,
and he keeps
go ahead,
disappearing and then reappearing in another location.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck is happening? I was pretty excited because there's some new kind of tech, and what's that going to say for, what's that going to do for us?
Right. Or against us.
That's true. And suddenly, other weird stuff happens, and
yeah, he blips out, and Cole continues his way to Titan, gets there.
So close to Cassie.
Yes, and sees that, yes, Cassie is right there. Her escape just had failed, and he started to make a run towards Malik and his men, and the guy in the cape shows back up and grabs him, and they disappear.
And
you go, what the...
Right.
is going on here?
Because then suddenly they're at the hotel, the Emerson. And who is this guy? Well, lo and behold, it's Cole. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. How did he touch it? What is going on? I can't trust anything. It was so weird. And we find out that the vests are like personalized splinter machines. That's right. Actually what's saving them from having a paradox.
Thank
you. I'm like blanking on the word. And it helps, but doesn't completely stop it, is the way he said it. So he's like, don't get too close, because it doesn't mean it's going to be 100%. But he's like, listen, Jennifer's the key. You have to go back. And, he gives them some words, Athens, the gin, and causality, which is basically for Jones. But it goes on, and he pops out. He's like, take this, go. This is what's needed. Because he gives him the watch.
Right.
And then you have, all of a sudden, Cassie come out of the back. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? I was so confused there, but that's how they leave you kind of hanging in episode 1. It's like, okay, here, we set this up. Good luck, because shit's going crazy.
Right. And future Cole actually tells present Cole that he is the future Cole. So at least we know that the Cole in the Cape was traveling back into the past. And you go, okay.
It's going to make my head hurt if I think about it too long.
Yeah. And of course, when we do see the future Cassie, a lot of people goes, oh, she looks so much older. And no, she had one gray streak in her hair.
See, I didn't even think she looked older. That's why I'm like, I'm confused.
No, she
What's
didn't.
happening? I didn't even notice the gray streak, to be honest.
Yeah, I did. And I went back, after everybody said, oh, she looks so much older, I rewatched it. And no, she didn't look like she was 50 years older than Cole at the time. Mm-hmm. Just, she had a gray streak in her hair. Okay.
Oh, what does this mean? Oh, let's go to episode 2.
All right. Episode 2, The Guardians, while searching for Jennifer Goines in post-World War I France, Cole and Jones encounter a dangerous group of time travelers, the Guardians.
Now, this was weird because it starts with, thankfully Jennifer at least had known French, and learned more apparently along the way. But she looks like this little homeless pauper, and she's writing, postcards?
Yes.
And I love this, trying to get this priest to help. And she's like, no, you have to help me. You're a priest. You have to send these in 80 years or something?
95 years.
He's like, we're all going to be dead.
Then have God do it.
I was cracking up. It's like, oh, crazy Jennifer. But she's trying to figure out how to get this information to the future so they can come back and help her. Well, It was great because finally, and you feel like this had to be happening for quite some time for her.
Yes.
She ends up finding a way to do it where she gets on stage. So she performs these little one-person plays. And they're pretty popular. And she does some great ones. What did she do? She did Aliens, E.T.
Yes.
Jaws.
E.T., Jaws, some Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't even remember all of them.
Right.
And then she tried to do basically the story of the 12 monkeys.
Right.
And the theater owner was like, nobody's going to understand that. Do Annie again. It's like, oh, okay. Well, now we know she did Annie at one point. But somehow, Cole and Jones ends up finding Jennifer, which I still think is interesting.
Well, the thing is future Cole handed present Cole a piece of paper that was the picture of Jennifer, and the headline was that this J.D. Holmes or whatever she had used as a stage name was wanted for the murder of her.
That's right.
The theater owner.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how Cole got the information as to where to find Jennifer.
Which, that was crazy because apparently Jennifer had been trying all this time. She even had a record that went out, I guess.
It's a couple of records.
And the one was Jones, Come Get Me.
Yeah.
Like it rhymed.
I'm still stuck in 1921 and Where Are You?
Yeah. And poor Jennifer, though. She was mad. And, she almost gets killed because she's still doing all her drawings. And the whole 12 monkey thing, well, if they're there, they're going to find you because they don't want somebody else to know.
Right.
And thankfully, Jones and Cole come in to stop the Guardian from killing Jennifer. And then, of course, Jones gets all like, ooh, look at, what is this vest? It's like, you're going off track here. Pay attention.
Right. And, of course, Cole really is on her case about what happened to Cassie, what happened to Ramsey, and Jennifer kind of gets bent about it.
Well, she'd been alone for how many years?
5 years.
Yeah.
So, yes, and I tended to agree with her that, Cole was being very cold and Jennifer just said no. She even mentions, my next act is Gone Girl.
Right. So thankfully she has a change of heart, but it's only because she ends up seeing one of the people that were in one of her visions.
Right. One of her drawings. The lady with
the umbrella.
Parasol.
Yes. But she actually doesn't go back to get Jones and Cole. She follows the person. Well,
right.
Is this a good thing, a bad thing? Probably never a good thing when Jennifer is doing something on her own. Thankfully, Jones and Cole find something in the other Guardian's vest.
Yeah, he actually had an ID.
Which apparently is very unusual.
Yes. For 1921, sure they weren't required to have government-issued IDs.
Well, they follow it to the address, and lo and behold, we find the other Guardians. And you think things are going well, almost, because they've taken out 2 of the Guardians. The third one, they managed to get last minute because of Jennifer and her distraction, which is kind of funny. This is my distraction.
Song, yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. All right, Jennifer, we need to have a better song. I don't know.
Right. But both Jones and Cole get hit in the exchange of gunfire. Cole in the foot, and I think Jones in the shoulder.
But Cole ends up going into the apartment, sees something which we're assuming is like a cradle.
It's an
ark.
A box.
I don't know how to explain it.
Right, it's a box.
Well, he goes for it, and then, look who shows up, Magdalena.
Yeah, Magdalena.
It's like, who are you? Well, we'll never have met, so don't worry about it. Zip, zip. Everything's
Yeah, after she shoots him a couple of times first in the chest, and she goes, oh, you're not going to die. You're just not going to know that we ever met. And zips back into the past to tell her past self that in 3 months, Cole and Jones are going to find them. So they are able to move. And of course, that rewrites everything. And Jones and Cole ends up back outside the theater.
So again, weird stuff happening because now they're starting to learn what's going on.
Right. And Cole does hear a baby crying as he's trying to get to the box to see what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that throws them all off, saying, well, what kind of bomb would, why would a human be there? This is supposed to be the thing that destroys the world. And
not thinking, it could be the witness.
Right.
Now, let's flash forward to Titan, and we have Cassie, and Malik is talking to her and being nice to her. And it's like, here, I can help you escape when the time is right. And he takes her to the witness shrine, which is all these different things that were the witnesses. So you have the grandfather clock, you have a little pocket watch, you have the mask. The plague mask that we've seen, but it's not quite the same plague mask.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, what's going on? You have leaves of red on a vine all over. And she's talking to him, and she's just like, listen, you have to be patient, which kills me with the be patient.
Right.
But he takes her up high where she can see what's happening. And we see the Guardians, carrying in, like I said, you said the box, I'd say a cradle and ark kind of thing. And it has her son in it. And the pallid man. And he's doing this whole spiel, and he's like, okay. And these Guardians will take him and teach him through time.
Right.
And she's upset. And she wants to cry out, but thankfully she doesn't.
Yes.
And they zip off through time. And we don't know where. Well, we kind of do, but do we now? Do we really?
Right. No. Yeah, we assume that they went to 1921 France.
Right.
Originally. Now, of course, it was interesting that we hear this in the second episode that Palaman says we are all products of the great Jinn. And we heard future Cole mention Jinn when he's talking to present Cole. So I had to do some digging and found out that Jinn is supernatural creatures, i.e. genies, in early Arabian and later Islamic mythology and theology. So apparently the army of the witness are kind of tying their religion into this Arabian and Islamic mythology.
So I wonder if that's what the symbols are supposed to be that Jennifer
can't read.
Right,
that they're trying to figure out. Very well could be.
Interesting. Then we have a whole nother thing playing out. We have Ramsey and Olivia in 2046. So, like we had found out previously, Ramsey, when all the weird stuff was happening, the different time streams were zipping people around. Ramsey's son got zipped somewhere and we didn't know. But Ramsey ends up in 2046 and Olivia's like, I can take you to your son. And he's a man now. He's all grown, and she's like, I've kept him safe for you and kept him from...
Yeah, for 23 years.
And I still don't believe it. Like, I don't believe Olivia. She's got way too much crap. She's always got plots and schemes.
Yes, she does.
But, Ramsey's like, I want to see my son. What's going on? Well, they finally get to the compound, but the witnesses' men had hit the compound and leave a note for Olivia, like, stuck to a tree, which we have no idea what it says.
No,
and
we don't, but it's very foreboding, shall we say.
I figured it was something like, quit helping or you'll die. He'll erase you from time or something, but...
Right.
We have no idea. But Ramsey does get to see his son. Of course, his son is dying, so, again, not so great.
Now, what I thought was extremely fascinating was I found out that this whole scene with Ramsey and Sam was not written the way it ended up being shot.
Really?
Yes. The day that it was to be shot, Kirk Acevedo came up to them and said, this is really, let's try this instead. It'll be more powerful instead of the way it was written. And they pulled it off, and that's the way it ends up on film, is he ends up having to kill his son with his own hands.
Yeah, that was... Oh.
Yes, exactly. That just, you could feel his pain.
Yes, and...
Oh, so good.
Well, Olivia's like, listen, we can do something about this. We can make this worthwhile. Which kind of takes us into the next episode, episode 3.
Well, they show up at the compound
at
the end of the episode, and you go, oh, this is not going to be good.
And then episode 3, Enemy. Bonds of trust are tested when Ramsey returns to the facility with an old enemy held captive. How far will Cole and Jones go for the answers they need? Well, everybody's leery about this because they don't know what happened to Ramsey. They don't know why he's there with Olivia.
Exactly.
And, I mean, honestly, you can't trust either one, right? At this point, Ramsey could have switched sides because he's been gone for so long. But was he gone? We don't know. Obviously, they're leery. They're like, okay, listen, we have to try to figure out why they're here. So they offer up Olivia. It's like, here, just talk to her. You can do whatever. It's fine. But she tells... Wait, I'm sorry. There's so many she's in here. I have to be specific. Jones tells Cole, you can't talk to Ramsey first because how, you guys call each other brothers.
Right.
How can you be completely, honest with what's happening?
Right.
Not put your feelings
and
first.
Objective on your decision about Ramsey.
Yeah. And I don't know. Could they? Could they ever do that?
No. I think that was probably one of the smartest things Jones did was say, I'll go talk to Ramsey. You go talk to Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, Jones goes in thinking Ramsey's an enemy.
Mm-hmm. That was smart.
But yes, very smart. But then, of course, once Ramsey tells her the story of how the witness basically killed his son, that's all, Jones knows that feeling, having lost Hannah for so long, that she just buys right into it.
Right. I mean, Jones even, tests Olivia, has all this stuff happen. They create a cage for her.
Right.
And
that was awesome.
But they find out that, she's immune to the plague. She is almost invincible because obviously at some point Jennifer goes to talk to her too. She's like, I pushed you into a pool and you're getting up and you're walking around now.
Right. You survived.
Right. Yeah, because it was an empty pool and she broke her back. But apparently it doesn't matter because, Olivia's like, I'm not going to be stopped. Forget all of you.
Yeah.
Very much have to cut off her head. Back. I don't know.
Yeah. Terminator.
Yeah.
But of course, Olivia tries to play on their feelings as well by mentioning that, yes, she was the little girl in 61 that they left behind when they...
Oh, yeah, when they ended up, were they going to kill the kid or grab the map? And they kind of split. Ramsey took part of the map. Yeah,
they were trying to stop the professor, and Ramsey ends up tearing off part of the map.
And then we have this whole problem because, you have Cole like, all right, this isn't going to work because you're trying to torture her. And it was some pretty serious torture.
Oh, yeah, because Jones basically tells her that, when you splinter, it happens so fast, your brain doesn't have enough time to realize that it's been ripped apart and put back together. But she goes ahead and changes the settings so Olivia will feel that pain and just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And even Hannah goes up to Jones and says, no, we don't do this.
So Cole does something interesting.
Yeah. He snags her and they disappear, and he's taken her 3 months into the past, gone down to the basement, and left her in a dark room.
And apparently that was enough to break Olivia. At least she seemed
they thought.
Yeah, she seemed pretty messed up. But Jennifer's warning, she's a chameleon. She's what she wants you to see when she wants you to see it.
Right. And has never been anywhere that she didn't want to be.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because it's like, okay, is she really helping? Has she really been broken? We'll find out.
Right. And of course, the information that Olivia does give up is there is one point in time where it would be possible to kill the witness. And it's in 2007, conveniently.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, Jones decides that Ramsey and Cole are going to take on this task of killing the witness.
But before we get there, really quick, we have Deacon, who is not dead.
Shocker.
Right.
Nobody expected that.
He's really hurt, but apparently he's kind of hidden away in a cell in Titan, being helped by Malik, which is why it's like, okay, is Malik actually helping us? Is he one of the good guys?
Yeah.
But he also is having, doubts himself, because why would this guy help us, right? But
exactly.
We're going to take it for face value, because he is giving you meds, he's giving you food, and he's sewing you up.
Yeah.
But that kind of brings us then to episode 4. Go ahead. Episode 4, Brothers. Ramsey and Cole splinter to 2007, expecting either a trap or a final chance to kill the witness. But when Cole discovers a heartbreaking truth, he'll discover that the mission was both. Oh, okay. Like you were saying, Cole and Ramsey splinter back. They have weapons. Well, they have to get weapons.
Right.
And we have some bad puns happen because of the weapons.
Yeah, there was some really bad ones.
But it was funny. So, I mean, can't be that bad, right?
Right.
They get their guns. They head off. Well, they're supposed to meet.
They were supposed to meet up because the hit that they had going to get the weapons, another group came up or back up or whatever. And so they decide to split up. Cole is successful in getting the weapons, but Ramsey disappears.
And where
did Cole
he go?
Doesn't find him. Yeah.
Well, Cole heads back to the Emerson because, well, that's where they're supposed to be, right?
Right. And waits.
And Ramsey ends up somewhere completely unexpected.
Yeah.
He was at the hospital that Cassie was working at.
Right.
And he suddenly pages, hey, we need help down in ER. Can you send down Dr. Rayleigh? Okay, why is he doing this? Well, one thing leads to another, and he's following this person who has blonde hair, and it's like, oh crap, wait, that's Cassie.
Right.
And suddenly, he shoots this person, and then I'm freaking out. I don't know about you. I'm like, oh my god, he killed Cassie, but then it's not Cassie.
Right.
But then we know he's not there to do something good.
No.
But at the same time, I understand that's when you go back to kill the witness. You kill them before they were able to be conceived.
Even born. Right. Because Olivia knew that Cole and Cassie were the parents of the witness and told Ramsey.
Which was messed up.
Yeah. Very messed up.
And Ramsey goes back to the hotel and he's like, this whole big thing about, oh no, I went to go see my mom, but I didn't go up to the door. So, I mean, Cole's like believing this. And he's like, why don't you go see Cassie? And he's like, no, I don't even know her yet.
Right.
And Ramsey's like, well, I got to see my mom from afar. It was enough. Maybe that'll be enough for
Yeah,
you.
and where would Cassie be, by the way?
Right, because that didn't
And
sound
Cole,
weird.
of course, tells her exactly where she was supposed to be. And you kind of go, Cole, I hope you're smarter than this. But of course, they end up splitting up to have a better chance of killing the witness, except that's not where Ramsey's going.
Yeah, and I think Cole always knew. He gave him a fake place to go.
Right.
So unfortunately, Cole has to confront Ramsey because he's at a place that had nothing to do with Cassie and everything to do with Ramsey and Cole. Because it was something about when they were younger, there was like a food bank that they were going to try to, I don't know, see if there was any actual food in there. And Cole had
Right.
gotten grabbed by somebody. Ramsey ends up saving him. And that was the first time Ramsey calls him brother. Well, come full circle. And this is where Ramsey's telling Cole, I was going to kill her. I was going to stop it now before anything happened. I'm a little heartbreaking, but then Cole ends up killing Ramsey.
Right. After Ramsey tells him that he is the father of the witness.
Because at this point, Cole didn't know.
No, he did not know that Cassie was pregnant. Well, he knew Cassie was pregnant, but he didn't know that
the witness was
their son was going to be the
Right.
witness. Right.
So, I mean, that's got to be horrible.
Yeah.
And so after Ramsey dies, Cole splinters back and he's about to kill Olivia because Olivia is the only person that could have turned Ramsey against him.
Right.
And alarms go off, so not so much.
Yeah. Saved by the machines firing up.
So Jennifer, visions again. Always. Always with these visions, always with the pictures, not being able to understand it.
Right.
I love that she even goes to try to talk to Olivia to see if Olivia can help her. But Olivia, didn't tell Jones everything because she needed kind of a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
That being the map, the word of the witness,
Yes.
which Ramsey had seen. Jennifer kind of knows about because she's seen it because that's what she knew when she was going to die. I think she's seen it at the house too, where she ends up pushing Olivia.
Right.
So she knows that there's another way. Well, Jennifer's also like, I know what's going on. I'm on to you. And if anything happens to Cole, you're going to die. Because these girls here, they still listen to me. They're going to shoot you down. But that's not all. Because Deacon, wow, he's got some serious psychological issues happening.
Yeah. Dealing with Daddy Dearest in his head while he tries to recover and regain his strength. But that drives him to do that.
And he does manage to make himself stronger. And ultimately, that's what he needs to have happen so he can try to get out. Well, Malik is like, all right, listen, I'm going to tell you how to get to Cassie. You go there, you get her out. And it's like, well, okay, but where are we? Is this going to help? Well, he ends up doing it. He gets Cassie out. And then they find what was left of the compound.
Right, which wasn't much.
So it was destroyed. But all of a sudden, there's something on a wall that wasn't there before.
Right.
It was a butterfly. It's a flutterby.
Which we have seen a couple of times. Of course, it was the brooch that Cole gave Cassie for Christmas back in 59. And we also saw it again in the first episode as Ariana put it in Cassie's hair, and that's what she used as a weapon.
Yes.
Because it was kind of a butterfly letter opener.
So this just keeps coming up. I'm assuming butterfly transformation, that sort of thing.
Right.
So, well, they dig there. It's like, okay, that wasn't there, so what could it possibly be? Hey, look, there's a way home.
Yes.
Because it's one of the vests, which is awesome.
No, it was two syringes. Yeah, it was the syringes.
I'm thinking it was the vest. I'm having a moment.
Yeah.
But it activates them, and bam, they're back where they need to be. And I seriously think Cole was going to have a heart attack seeing her, which is great.
Yes. But of course, as soon as she gets off and they look at each other, some fantastic acting by both of them because they didn't say a word, and you knew what Cole was asking her, and you saw what she was telling him.
That's so sad.
Yes.
All right, let's get to episode 5 before I become Sad Panda.
Right. Causality. Out of time and in need of answers, Jennifer and Deacon are sent to 1989 to steal a sacred document. Can Rayleigh and Cole get to the word first before it reveals the one secret they want kept?
Oh my god, this was great because...
This was an awesome episode.
Jennifer...
And we kind of needed it with all the tension of the first 4.
Yes.
We needed this type of episode to kind of go, exhale.
Because Jennifer decides to dress everybody because it's the 80s and she's super excited, which is funny because we have her pretending to be her mother, like the big dynasty hair and poofy sleeve dress, and she has Cole dressed like Marty McFly, Deacon dressed like Miami Vice, and then she has Cassie dressed kind of Debbie Gibson.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so cool, and I loved it. And I'm like, okay, I know we didn't wear that much, did we? It's like trying to think back. It's like, God, is that what it was? Maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Cole and Cassie make that ultimate decision not to tell Jones that the witness is their son because she doesn't know what they're going to do. So, for all we know, if they tell her, she's going to go back, have somebody go back in time and kill both Cole and Cassie before this even happens.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, that would make sense. But, I mean, basically, if they're at this point, can they change that? That's a whole different question because that's very timey-wimey.
Right.
But they're going to try to get this and at least hide that point from Jones. Well,
right.
Jennifer ends up being the one who finds out because Jennifer had not known, which is surprising. With everything that she knows being a primary, she did not know this.
Right.
So she ends up getting her hands on the map or the word of the witness, makes copies because the point was to try to get into the future, make copies, bring it back. Didn't work out so well.
No.
Because the cops didn't get there. Her father, or in this case, playing her husband because she's playing her mom. Okay, time to get really weird here.
Yeah.
He shows up, but she has Deacon distract everybody. So he's robbing everyone. But as Jennifer's father is sitting there with little Jennifer, little Jennifer is kind of like, oh, this is kind of funny. And he's like, can't you be normal? And I have to love Deacon right here because he gives little Jennifer a ruby ring that he took off somebody. And he's like, ooh, sparkly. Oh, and something you remember. Right. Your dad's an asshole. It's like, wow. Yeah. Nice. And she just kind of laughs. But weirdly enough, Olivia is in the same area. She looks at little Jennifer and little Jennifer's scared of her. Do you think at this point little Jennifer has seen Olivia in visions?
It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, it was a very Keystone-ish cop episode where whatever could go wrong did go wrong. Of course, because Jennifer shows up and they're trying to get into this auction, they decide that, yes, they have something to auction, so they have to go get Leland's most treasured car and get it to the auction and have the security guards accept it with Cole and Cassie in the trunk under cover.
Because it was Bugsy Siegel's car during doing Prohibition. So there's secret places to hide everything.
Right.
Yeah. So really kind of fun.
And it just went back and forth. And of course, because Jennifer just goes absolutely bonkers at the auction.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer's buying up everything. She's like, I'm stress bidding.
Everything. Yeah.
She's even bidding against herself. It's like, you don't know how this works, do you?
Right. But of course, because she's bidding on the painting that has the hidden map in it, the lady who's running the auction notifies Olivia. So she has to show up instead of doing it offline. It's awesome. As soon as she walks in and Deacon sees her, it goes to her.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great. But I was like, wait, doesn't she know them? Because then I start, again, timey-wimey. It's like, wait, which version does she know?
Yeah. It wasn't until 2016 that they met. So she hadn't met them in 2007.
It was very confusing.
Yes, and of course, because Jennifer has already overspent her mother's credit limit, they have to call Leland and get him there.
Yeah, that was bad.
And of course, Olivia sends her goons to the back to retrieve the painting. And of course, Cole and Cassie have to fight them, and they actually beat the guys up. But when they come back, the painting's gone, and you get this, well, you said it was right here. Well, it was right here.
And that's when Jennifer gets her hands on it, makes the copy, thankfully, and even better, manages to accidentally have her hand where the information about Cole and Cassie being the witnesses' parents are.
Right.
So Jones is grateful that they have all the information, but a little peeved about whatever was covered, but not so much because they have way more than they ever had before.
Right. Now, of course, we failed to mention at the first of the episode when Jennifer comes up with this plan in her head, we see Olivia basically channeling Jennifer Goines during her description of the heist.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
How awesome was
and
that?
It shocks herself
that
and
was
falls.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that was so good. And Allison Down had it cold.
Yeah, it was great.
Because they were going to have to, do all this post-production work to make it actually come out. No. Allison did such a good job of it. They just filmed it, and yes, we got it.
And I did think it was great too in this one when Jones tells Jennifer, "That's a really good idea," and she's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
it was cool. Kind of excited.
Yes.
So it leads us through this insanity of the first 5 episodes, and it just keeps hyping up. What's next? What's next? Next gear. So the next episode of 12 Monkeys will be us talking about the last 5 episodes, where things really get wonky, which we won't spoil anything.
Yes.
So hopefully you've watched them all by now. So, as we're not going to spoil anymore, we'll just ask you to rate and review us at iTunes. Good ratings always help other fans find the show. And, tell your friends. We really do hope you're enjoying the podcast, the content. All of it. You can find us at www.fangirlzone.com. You'll find all of our info there for our Twitter, our Facebook, our email, which is fangirlzonepodcast@gmail.com. Definitely email us. Tell us what you think, how you felt it was with them dropping all of them in one single weekend. Do you think that was good? Do you think it's bad? I don't know. Because I think there's more to come the same way. We'll see how that, fleshes out.
Right. How season 4, how they finish it.
So we'll see. We'll talk to you soon about the rest of 12 Monkeys. So until then, I am Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. Turns out the key to the universe is chock full of nuts.
And until next time.